Welcome back. This is episode 4. In this video, we're going to be combining different forms together and making more complicated objects. So here is an ink bottle. These videos are sped up 8 times. So this ink bottle is made out of cylinders, and this cylinder is kind of tapers at the top. Then it's got another cylinder on top. Then this stressed out moai. We've got a cube, and you can see I'm kind of cutting into the cube to kind of taper it at the top. Adding some spheres for eyes. Notice that I found the middle line of the moai's face before I started adding all of the facial features. Add some shadows here to make things really pop. Next we've got the Lego head, and as you can see it was just made out of cylinders. And kind of cutting away at these cylinders and making sure that the corners are not really sharp, so where the top part meets with the flat face of the side, it's not a sharp transition, it's kind of more of a smooth line that kind of goes for that corner. Next we've got a nice big old bottle of hand sanitizer. As you can see, I found the middle of the top first to kind of figure out how to taper that the top up there just the right way. And I'm kind of drawing through. And by drawing through, I mean that I'm kind of like trying to visualize what it looks like all the way through the whole thing. So that involves a lot of drawing and then erasing later what you've drawn. And for these kind of drawings, you just have to kind of get used to the fact that you gotta erase a lot. Sometimes the lines that you make aren't going to make it to the final drawing, but they're going to help the final drawing look better. So next we've got this monkey holding books. He's mostly made out of cylinders. He's got kind of a spherical head. And he's holding a stack of books, which is a cube. So I'll slowly build it from these simple forms and slowly cut away and add. And I actually kind of changed the sculpture just a little bit. His eyes were pretty creepy in the drawing, so I gave him some eyes that were a little bit less nightmare fuelish. Kind of cartoon looking eyes. Kind of darken in. One of the things that really makes this look 3D is the overlapping, where things are covering up other things. That's a good trick. Don't be afraid to have one object cover up another object. Just because you drew it doesn't mean something else can't cover it up. Doesn't mean it, if it's going to serve the drawing, get rid of it. Let something else be in front. So this is my desk buddy. I have several of these things. I've got another one that doesn't have the magnifying glass that I've had for a really long time. This one's a newer one. I've had this one like 15 years. I've got another one that has a laser pointer thing on it. I don't really know exactly what they're supposed to be for. I think they're supposed to hold circuit boards while you solder them or something like that. I don't really do much electronics type stuff, but I like having this guy around. He's just kind of cool. These things are really good for stop motion animation too, because all of their joints are really tight. And anyway, he's all made out of just cylinders and cubes, all kind of turned different ways. This was a pretty long drawing, but I actually really had fun drawing this. I didn't mind the fact that it took a little while. Not like the drawing that's coming up here in a little bit. you will see, drawing Legos is probably one of the most time-consuming things you can do, but during this quarantine time, I mean, why not do something that's time-consuming? Why not consume your time? That's what we have. That's why we're here, is to consume some time. I like this guy, though. He looks like he's here to consume some circuit boards. Sometimes I like to imagine, what kind of job I would have where I needed this thing. I needed this thing to hold something, and then I needed the magnifying glass to look at it really finely under. I really don't need this thing, but I really like it anyway. Get those little wing nuts. And make sure I get all those little claws in his. So up next we've got the Lego cube. This one took me 23 minutes. This was a drawing where I really kind of started to regret choosing to draw this almost immediately. Anyway, so on the bottom corner you'll see I know that this is going to be a boring drawing, even sped up 8 times. A 23-minute drawing, that's still like a 3 minutes of watching me draw a little tiny ellipses all over this whole thing. So over on the bottom corner, I have some instructions if you're interested in how I made this thing. I came up with this idea a couple of years ago. I'm not going to say that this is like my original idea or something. I'm sure that somebody else has done this before. I always had these little pieces. It's Lego piece number 4595, if you're interested. And I always thought that they were like jet engines or something when I was a little kid. But then I was playing with Legos with my daughter, and I was trying to think of different weird ways you could do stuff with Legos, and I came up with this. And it's kind of a weird little object because you're used to seeing Legos that have a bottom and flat sides and stuff. So anyway, as a tribute to Lego part number 4595, while I'm drawing this ridiculously difficult cube drawing over here on the right side. On the left side I'm drawing piece number 4595. It only took me like 4 minutes to draw, but I thought such an interesting little piece deserved a drawing. It deserved its little place in art history. I'm sure that the people that designed it probably drew hundreds of drawings of it, so I'm kind of being ridiculous that my little crummy drawing is going to make it into art history as though it's not already in art history. Legos are, of course, part of art history. Next episode, we're going to be talking about the power of perspective. That's going to be basically putting all these different little 3D objects into a realistic looking world that you can kind of get lost in. See you next time.